Hi, welcome back to Finally Revealed. In this episode, we want to talk about Chapter 11 bankruptcies with Lisa Epps of the Spencer Fane Law Firm in Kansas City, Missouri. Thank you, Lisa, for being here.
Thanks. Excited to be here.
And in this installment, we want to talk about what you need to do to get ready to file a Chapter 11. What kind of things should people be prepared to do? What kind of information? And what kind of a time frame is involved?
Well, in terms of time frame, the time frame is really the business's time frame. A lot of things that you might look at will be, has the bank filed a lawsuit, or has a judgment been obtained and someone is ready to collect on that judgment? Or do you have a situation where you lease a piece of property and it's very important that you stay in that in that building, and you haven't been able to pay rent for a couple of months, and so the landlord has filed a rent and possession action and they're ready to evict you. And so a lot of the timing is you want to make sure that you file bankruptcy before the bank, pops a garnishment on your account, or the landlord evicts you from the piece of property. So, there could be, outside factors like that. There could be internal factors as well. And so really, certainly the moment that you think that there might be issues, it's always better to talk with an attorney so that they can guide you in that process of when is best to file, assuming that filing a Chapter 11 is in your best interest.
Right, whether you should even consider it or not, and if you should, how it could help you and in what areas, and then figure out that timing.
Right.
Okay, so if somebody has determined that that's the way they want to go, so they had a preliminary conversation, then they come back to you and say, okay, Lisa, we need to get going on this because a big payment is due or something is looming in our immediate future. We want to be prepared and we want to handle it. So what should they be ready to do?
Well, then I would introduce you to my paralegal, Lisa Wright.
She's great, by the way.
It was fantastic. And what you have to do is fill out bankruptcy schedules and a statement of financial affairs, and they can be overwhelming. And so it's helpful to have someone guide you through the process. But in essence, you have to list
everything you own,
real property, personal property with estimated values, any contracts that you are involved with, any leases that you are involved with, a list of all of your creditors, whether it's bank debt, which may be secured by collateral, if you've got any debt to taxing authorities, state or federal, general unsecured creditors,
trade
debt, and also, payments that you've made to creditors over 90 days. Have you obtained, or has anyone obtained a judgment against you? It is an intensive process. And so while it's intensive, it's also absolutely the most important thing that you will do as a debtor, because if you don't get those right, you could risk not being able to modify the debt with certain of the creditors. If you intentionally don't include assets or liabilities, just like you see all of the dance moms and Real Housewives of New Jersey, bankruptcy fraud is a federal crime.
It's real.
And you can go to prison. And so it is labor intensive, it is maddening, but it is the most important thing you can do. And so, but a good attorney will be able to help you through that process.
And then when they get the information together, someone's going to have to certify the information.
Right. A lot of things that are done, you certify under penalty of perjury. And so
she says with a smile.
I say with a smile. And so I mean it's a very serious deal. It really is.
It needs to be correct.
And understanding that typically the businesses that are in bankruptcy may not keep the best records, may not have everything. You do the best you can. And if you find out later you did something wrong, you can go back and amend it. As long as there is no bad faith and everybody's trying their best, then there's almost always a way to work it out. But it's certainly better. You certainly set the tone for your bankruptcy if you don't make a lot of mistakes up front, and earn that credibility with the judge and with the other parties in the case that you're really taking this seriously and trying to work things out.
That's excellent. Thank you so much, Lisa. We appreciate it.
Thank you.